It is October 6th, 2023. It's the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn, joined by NYC Demon Diva Isa and Flobo Boyce, hanging out with us tonight.
I don't know which way to point for Flobo because the screens are all screwed
confused.
up. I was like Flobo, and then I was posting the wrong way.
Tonight, SmackDown. Tomorrow night, Fast Lane. But forget all that. The real news everybody's talking about is Tuesday. Biggest NXT ever, question mark?
No,
Let's
exclamation point.
Go. WrestleMania Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, Asuka, John Cena, The Undertaker.
The gong. We don't have that confirmed. We just heard a gong.
Yeah, what's going to be? This boneyard matches every 20 minutes?
Scotty Too Hottie, the
What?
ghost of Paul Bearer.
Eddie Guerrero. He's gonna be on Dominic's corner.
Dude, if Eddie Guerrero shows up, man, I'm like, wrestling is awesome. They brought him back.
Like,
They brought him back.
Pretty much CGI like they did with Tupac at that concert, you know?
The reveal of who threw the pie at Kevin Owens on that 4th of July food fight.
No. And I heard Beyonce is gonna open with the national anthem. She's gonna be there singing the anthem. It's gonna be a great show.
Shout out to Jeffrey Sullivan in the chat. He's saying close to 1 million. I mean, they got 1 million when Becky Lynch was on NXT by herself. It has to be 1.5. Anything else would be a failure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But
So-
imagine, hear me out. Imagine if AEW beats them. Like, we'll never hear the end of it. You realize that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that if they don't win, you're not going to hear anything about ratings. But if AEW does win, they're like, oh, we beat John Cena.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be insane. I mean, but is AEW even trying to counter?
I'm excited for Swerve and Bryan. They have a number 1 contender match. I believe it's for the TNT Championship. I might be wrong here, but they do have a number 1 contender match. It's Title Tuesday, they're calling it. So I'm assuming some titles will be on the line. But because there's so many titles in AEW, I proceed with care because it could be titles that we don't really, care about.
Well, you can't say it's false advertising if titles are on the line.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could just put a bunch of titles that we don't even remember are part of the show and still call it Title Tuesday.
Right.
No. But NXT is going to be huge. We're finally going to find out what was in Shane McMahon's envelope.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
man.
remember that?
Yeah. It's going to be huge.
See,
Remember that
1,
story? Oh
2.
no, that ended up being Eric Rowan. That story where somebody was attempting to kill Roman Reigns backstage every week. We're gonna find out who he really was. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
That was cool. I think 3 titles are on the line on Tuesday: the Women's World Championship, the International, and the TNT Championship.
Okay.
You know what, though? With both of those going on in the coverage, I'm glad that I'm off Tuesday night because
We're gonna have to. It's gonna get. I already have PTSD from when both shows were on Wednesday.
Oh my
I had
God.
to watch on 2 devices, and I always found it interesting to see which screen will keep your attention. Like, what screen are you watching more? But this one's gonna be tough to try to cover both shows. Honestly.
let me tell you all a story about when the previous owner of this site, who now spends what you could buy a low-end economy car for on Taylor Swift tickets.
Wow.
Used to pay us the same amount that we get per podcast to watch 2 wrestling shows and to do a podcast where we had to cover both wrestling shows on Wednesday nights.
Wow.
It was miserable. It was the worst podcast. I've been doing this over 7 years now. It is the most miserable I've ever been in the history of doing this podcast.
Gotta get those Taylor
Tell
Swift
us
tickets
how you
somehow.
really feel, Glenn.
It was, I'm doing a podcast with Raj on Sunday for Gigantic Pop. I was in Colorado. I forgot about this. Next time I see Raj Giri, I'm kicking him in the nuts for this. Because that was really miserable. And I know you might say, oh, it's a privilege to get paid to talk about this and watch wrestling. It's like twice as much work, bro. And everyone was always unhappy. Everyone was always miserable. It was either like, why are you covering AEW first? Now you're rushing through NXT. Why are you covering NXT first? Now you're rushing through AEW. We want you to go painstaking detail by detail and discuss every bead of sweat on Adam Cole's body because he was on NXT at the time, and talk about this and give equal to an hour to each and a pro and a con and dissect. It was awful. It was the worst podcasting experience I've ever had.
Well, get ready to do that Tuesday, or at least one of us.
I know. I'm off. I'm off, bro.
Oh, you saw it coming, basically. You saw it coming. You're like,
I didn't even see it coming. This is luck of the draw.
Just tell people you're an insider in both promotions. I mean, that proves.
Oh, it's true. That's good. Yeah. So my heart goes out to whoever has to do that this Tuesday. It's going to be awesome. Maybe I'll watch NXT. I was off this past Tuesday. I watched NXT too. This is how much I love NXT. I didn't have to cover it. I wasn't doing the podcast. I wasn't feeling well. I still said, you know what? I'm going to put on NXT. I want to see what's up.
Well,
wow, you're still committed.
Yeah. I think I'm on Tuesday, to be honest with you. Hey, what's going on, Julian? What's going on? Yeah, I think I'm on Tuesday, so that's going to be fun.
Yes. Anyhow, so. CM Punk, the story that never ends. Wrestling Inc. has the latest news, recapping what Dave Meltzer suggested with the timeline, the rumors, the talent saying, we don't expect it to happen, but you never know. He better not pull any of that shit backstage here because he will get checked. But people still think Survivor Series, right? It's in Chicago.
You have to.
You have to.
I mean, I wouldn't save him for anything else but that. That's the way to debut him. You're going to get the reaction that you want. You're going to get the buzz that you want. I mean, CM Punk coming back to WWE is going to be buzzworthy, but you have to do it in Chicago. That's just my opinion.
Flobo, is the pop louder than it was on AEW?
It'd be hard to say. I think it would be if everything was equal, but one of the things that AEW has done, to its credit or detriment, is run Chicago so many times that I'm not even sure if people are going to be all about Punk. They may have seen him so often. It's like, oh, okay, he's on this thing now. But I will say this, and I know people are saying he's done, sign him now, give him the strap, all that stuff. You have to keep him advisory or on the side. Shows up, maybe does a little match here. Do not give him the Edge treatment. If you do that, then you're wasting your time and money.
The Edge treatment, elaborate. Flo.
Oh, yes, please. So Edge comes back with a giant pop and somehow forced themselves into the greatest wrestling match ever, a WrestleMania main event, tells people I'm going to retire next year, and then gets mad when he gets like fades out. Don't do that. You bring Punk in, you give him an X amount of matches, 4, 5, 6, or whatever, get him out of there. Everyone's happy.
But he's not going to be, he's not going to be the champion in WWE. I mean, Seth Rollins maybe, but he ain't taking down Roman. He ain't getting that title.
It's not so it's a championship. It's that you don't want to make sure if you sign Punk, he has to be an attraction. You can't make him an every month guy. You can't make him an 8:05 p.m. guy like how he was in Dynamite.
Is he gonna be able to do one match without getting injured?
Maybe that's his plan. Oh, maybe. Okay, get this. Maybe this is like sort of that, sort of Slippin' Jimmy. Actually, he was also from Chicago. Think about this a second. Maybe that's his plan. Is like, I'm gonna get signed by WWE, and then backstage, whoops, slipped on some water. Workman's comp claim. Wow. I'm on injury. Got to pay out my contract.
He's a contract worker. I mean, workman's comp has limited reach.
No, maybe he gets that in there though, where it's like, this is pay or play. Even if I'm injured, you give me full downside. You know?
If on WWE, I also get something in there about injuries because if there's something we learn about his time in AEW is that he's very injury prone right now. The man's fragile, like an egg. You don't want to crack him, you know?
Oh, like Edge, yeah.
No, like an egg.
No, I'm saying like Edge.
But also like Edge.
Speaking of Edge.
Edge is in AEW now. He's going to wrestle Luchasaurus. Talk about getting the all-star treatment.
I'm surprised he didn't pop a bigger rating on Wednesday night.
You're surprised?
The DirecTV numbers were down, Glenn, please.
Look, I thought his return at the end of Wrestle Dream, like, legitimately was handled so well. It was so exciting. Crowd losing their shit. Everyone was so happy. He said all the right things after the show about what he wants to do. And maybe there wasn't enough of a gap. Maybe there wasn't enough time for people to miss him.
He was just going to make a statement, and the people that watch AEW is a very hardcore niche audience that already heard what he had to say. I think that announcing his first match against Luchasaurus is not exciting. I do think, and this is a positive, I do think that if you give them time to cook, Edge and Christian can make must-watch television in AEW if you just give them the time, let them build this feud with a payoff at the pay-per-view, like maybe Full Gear. We have like 2 months almost worth of promos that they can do back and forward. But Edge and Luchasaurus is not something that I would say I gotta tune in for that.
Now, pardon me, Adam Copeland now. But it's
I call him the threshold. I asked ChatGPT to give me other words for Edge, and threshold was my favorite. So in my channel, we call him the threshold.
I didn't watch Wednesday. I've not been feeling well this week. But did anybody?
Okay?
I'm okay. Did Adam or Christian Cage? Did anyone make a play on words and say I feel over the edge right now?
Oh my God, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega,
Okay.
they finally met for the first time backstage, and Kenny Omega said, "Your return had me at the edge of my seat," which popped me a little bit. But Christian Cage had the best play of words when he told him to go F himself. That was great.
Anyhow, Fast Lane's tomorrow night. I forgot Fast Lane was tomorrow night.
Can't wait.
Really?
That was sarcasm, Glenn.
Okay.
Oh, I mean,
No, I think Shinsuke and Seth are gonna put on.
It's gonna be amazing.
But the card is not. The problem is that I can't tell you about PLE from WWE this year. So
Yeah,
while
true.
I'm going in with low expectations, they delivered every single time. So we'll see what they do here. But we only have 5 matches in the card. Disappointed that Rhea Ripley's not in the card. Again, like there's a couple of things. John Cena and LA Knight being BFFs make no sense. There's quite a couple of things, but we'll get into tonight because there's a few things that do excite me for Fastlane.
There have been a few things this year where I was like, oh, I'll just turn it on, and I end up watching the whole thing. Like if this is one of those sub 3-hour pay-per-views, it could be incredible.
It's gonna be short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying both. I feel like the PLEs at the beginning were so strong and so unique, and these are and Payback too weren't bad. It was kind of like I'm at home on a Saturday, let me flip it on, but it doesn't feel like must see. Now that said, I thought the go home segment was great. We'll get to that, but yeah, going into this one, I'm kind of like, okay, what's the next pay-per-view or what's next PLE?
It was great for everybody unless your name is JD McDonough.
Someone's got to do it. Sami Zayn was off tonight.
So we opened the show SmackDown tonight, hearing from LA Knight, who,
Yeah.
and I mean, he got like 3 words into it before he was confronted by Paul Heyman with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa.
Good.
Well, yeah, Flobo, what'd you think of the segment?
The thing about LA Knight, man, I'm not sure if the timing was turned away due to the alleged COVID thing slowed him down a bit. The problem I have last week is building up. You had this guy who's hot. You're putting him with John Cena, who's the legend John Cena, but we're still with this fractured bloodline thing. Roman Reigns hasn't been on TV in a month. Not really sure what he's doing. He's going to be back here next week, so it's kind of hard to feel.
He's resting, Flobo.
He's resting. Yeah, he's getting the light treatment. He's hanging out, just hanging out in the sun. But it's hard to understand the stakes. They have a match. LA Knight is due. John Cena's back. But with Roman not there, telling us what he's doing for the bloodline for the next past month, it does feel like okay, this is like a B quest, a side quest for LA Knight.
Was this the first time he pulled out the receipt and said I have a receipt, but I didn't buy anything you just said? That was really good.
As LA Knight, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was solid. He's great. But here's the other thing. This is where WWE steps on their own dick all the time.
Ow.
Like, okay, so we've got this match with the Bloodline and LA Knight and Cena, but then they're giving us the seeds of conflict for Survivor Series match against Judgment Day and the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So LA Knight, hella over. John Cena, perennial favorite. But, I mean, let's get to the fireworks factory. I want to see the Bloodline versus Judgment Day. This tomorrow just feels like a house show match.
It's going to probably be a War Games for Survivor Series.
Yeah, I know.
Humbug.
It was good to have them tonight. They have to start building that story. But yeah, it just felt like, you're showing me something way more interesting. So, and also, what's Roman Reigns? Can we at least get him Skyping in from the beach somewhere?
No, he's busy resting.
That's what I'm saying. You're the tribal chief of what? Like, what are you in an empty house by yourself? Do you use a used car dealership? Are you an astronaut? Can someone help me out here and tell me what Roman Reigns does?
Wouldn't that be amazing if he's like, when I'm not with WWE, I work a second job.
Come on. Why is he so busy?
I go to an office every day. I work in IT. It's my passion. And I wrestle, now and again.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing. I want to see Roman Reigns. There should be like a fake like WWE like what was it, diary or the thing they were doing for a while, remember?
Yeah.
Like they should have one Roman Reigns like in kayfabe of what he's doing when he's not there.
Short sleeve button down, brown tie on a computer.
And Paul Heyman keeps calling him and he just looks at it and he's like, I can't talk right now. I'm at work.
Yeah. Tribal chief. It's like my dad. I pay the light bill. I'm your dad. Okay,
It's
Dad.
8 p.m. I'm working the second shift.
And then maybe he's got like another family when he goes home too. It's like a secret life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean they can really get deep with this. This would be really good. But yeah, I want to know what's going on with Roman. It's too weird.
You'll find out next week.
Okay, we'll find out next week.
I better.
He doesn't owe you or anybody any explanation.
He does.
Make sure that he doesn't. He doesn't owe anybody anything.
It's been 5 weeks. The guy with the championship is nowhere to be found, and he's still keeping his job.
It's good that you can count till 5. He doesn't owe you an explanation.
Back in my day, I'm like an old man. 30 days you had to defend your title unless you lost it. Where the heck is Roman?
He's defending it in places that we don't know about.
But he's not gonna show up at Fast Lane. It's not gonna be like Judgment Day interferes in the main event and then Roman makes the save. Like that would be a waste of the Roman return.
Yes, it would.
Issa, do you think about the Roman Empire more frequently than the average man does?
I think about Roman Reigns more frequently than anybody does, but not the Empire or the Bloodline. I think the Bloodline is done.
Really?
I don't trust anybody. Nobody. I don't even trust Paul Heyman after that BS he pulled tonight. I think Roman just needs to go solo, no pun intended.
Damian Priest questioned why JD McDonough was there with the Judgment Day tonight when they rolled out.
Same. After tonight, I feel like JD should be like, you know what? It's not worth it trying to join the Judgment Day. Give me back that briefcase I designed for you. I'm out.
That's petty.
Yeah.
Petty.
Well, we're in the petty era right now, so it will be fitting.
JD is like the bad version of Sami Zayn trying to join the Bloodline.
Oh, you're right, but at least Sami Zayn eventually started getting.
No, I know, but JD is like he's like the.
There was something about tonight that made me question, and I don't know if this is where they're going. I don't know how you guys feel about it because we all know I have my own bias. We all do, right? We're fans at the end of the day of certain people, but it really made me question Rhea Ripley. She was the person that I was the most like, I don't trust her tonight. And I don't know why. The things that she was having conversations with Paul Heyman and her bringing JD because she said, I invited him, when she's all about the Terror Twins, they call themselves, right? She's all about Priesty and the family. So I question why she's making these calls above him when there's no leader in the Judgment Day. I starting to feel like we're building up something here very slowly, but I feel like some seeds were planted tonight with Rhea trying to just show to be the leader of the Judgment Day, which I feel some of us feel like she is the clear leader.
Oh, yeah.
What they try to sell us is that there's no leader. And I feel like that could actually be what start causing the cracks here.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, we had Damage Control versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair tonight.
A banger. Great
match. Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it, but Flobo shaking his head. Why? Because they couldn't quite sis or?
So, as the biggest Bailey mark on the planet, right? I get it. Dakota Kai is injured. Io Sky's the championship, but the Damage Control thing isn't working. It's 2 weeks in a row that Bailey lost a match to Charlotte. And also, Io doesn't look any stronger in our match or even as her title run. It's looking mid. I don't know why they can't go their separate ways, still be in the group like what Trick Metal Gang did. No one's being helped out in this weird anti-Freebird rule thing with Bailey. She's just taking L's. Io looks weak. Dakota can't wrestle, and Charlotte gets pins left and right. What's going on?
If Jade Cargill is not showing up soon, I think tomorrow night Bailey helps Io retain, turns on her after for Bailey versus Io for Survivor Series.
I think that works, but I hate to be that guy, but I will be that guy. I love being that guy. I take it back. I love being that guy, but Io was so much better in NXT. I'm not sure what was supposed to be here now, and I get you need someone like Bailey to garner the heat, but this isn't ding dong hello Bailey. This is kind of like we're bad, and so in a promotion with there's almost too many factions, you have one that is just taking losses left and right. This reminds me of the Riot Squad. And it comes to a point where you go, these people are different. Break them up because it's helping nobody.
That's a valid point. I actually love the "we're bad" explanation of Bailey because it does feel that way when you really think about it. They're not really bringing anything to the table. I think they're trying to keep them together. Dakota can't wrestle, obviously, as you mentioned. The match itself, I really enjoy. The match itself, right? Taking the elements of whether damage control is working right now or not. I do think they hold Io back a little bit. I don't want to say I forget, but sometimes you see her come out with the title and you go, oh yeah, she's the champ. Because there's just so much going on with damage control that is just not making Io shine as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And again, the match itself I thought was a banger. Shout out to Charlotte Flair. Her gear game since this comeback has been absolutely on point. Yep. She has looked like her every single appearance that we have gotten from her, the queen, right? That the star factor. She just comes out and you have to stop and stare. So she's killing it too. So yeah, I do see your point, but again, I was just very happy that this match got the time that it got. I don't feel like it's felt like Bailey has done anything of interest in a while.
Yeah,
like I can't think of. I mean, besides them showing up at 2 SummerSlams ago, back together as damage control. After that, it's just felt like Bailey's just there with them. And I do miss Bailey, especially as a heel. Like, are we wasting her heel run in this faction? I don't know, but it does feel that way a little bit. And Asuka, she's just so kick-ass.
She is. And she's going to be on NXT.
Yeah, because for some reason... I'm sorry, the whole her working with this girl, like, it made no sense. Just call her and be like, hey, Asuka, you want to do this? And Asuka saying yes. That makes absolutely zero sense. I'm excited for the match.
It's wrestling.
But that makes zero sense. You know what I mean?
So I thought about this with Jack. I said, maybe it's just like a hotline. She just pick up the phone and goes, no one's ready for Asuka. And just agrees to miss anybody who calls her number.
Oh, that is it. She probably called her and said, like, hey, Roxanne said she's ready for Asuka. And Asuka was like, no way. And that's how she got Asuka to show up.
That would be incredible.
Right. She shows up.
Yeah, no, I would love that. They should do that. They should have it be like, yeah, the hotline. That's a WWE 90s promo. Somebody calls the hotline, you know.
Oh my God, remember that?
Yeah.
You ever call it, Glenn?
I wanted to. Look, I got in trouble with 976 numbers. We're not going to say of what variety in the late 80s.
No, you can't say that and not tell us.
It was at a friend's house. It was like $2 a call. Well, what do you think? What do you think?
$2 a call.
It was like $2 a call, and I remember
party lines.
No,
Bible study, man. Yeah.
No, and it wasn't even live. It was like a recorded story. We were like sitting around one day. It was like probably 86, and we're looking through the paper, and it was like, "Ooh, what's this number with foxy ladies that are waiting to tell me their most intimate secrets."
The best kind of ladies are foxy. Yeah.
Oh Jesus, this is a story. You want to hear more stuff like this? Listen to Gigantic Pop Sundays with me and Matt Morgan and Raj Geary.
I called Walter Mercado to tell me my future because I just love Walter Mercado. They rip me off.
Okay.
None of the things that they promised and my parents had to pay for on the phone bill ever happened in my life. So.
Well, the crazy thing was it was $2 a call, and I remember I did this at my friend's house because I'm smart. I remember his mom calling my mom irate about the $400 phone bill.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the stories didn't change. It was the same thing, and we would just call and listen, and we'd hang up because we'd be like, "Ooh, we feel guilty. This is weird. Why are my jeans tight?" We could have just recorded it and listened to it back again and again, but no. Like we kept calling
hilarious.
it. They removed the charges though, thankfully, because which is why 976-900 numbers died, because all it would take was the parent calling up and saying, "Oh, my kid did this," and they would remove the charges.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't work anymore. That and the Columbia Record and Tape Club, all the great ways to work the system, no longer exist.
But the system was working new. There were some new fake ass CDs.
Well, poorly made, often edited. So, look, I think Bailey versus Io, and I think Io should win that feud. I think that will solidify Io if Bailey goes full heel and they have a great feud. And maybe they wrapped it up. Maybe they keep that going for a while. But
what do you do when Dakota, when she's clear? Now the rumor is that she might not be clear until February. So I do get a little bit concerned. Are you gonna keep them together that long with Dakota just?
Well, she has to pick.
Her?
That's a story we can tell. Whose hype woman is she going to be? Whose side she going to be? And then when she is clear, then when she makes the assist, they can keep this going for a while. But
she'll just go to Raw like Jey Uso did because he's a coward.
But you can't if you have Io versus Rhea Survivor Series, like Rhea's untouchable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she don't want to defend her title.
Yeah.
She's literally untouchable. Like she's not making a feud with nobody.
Right.
Smart. That's thinking.
Yep.
If I'm not in a feud, I can't. Oh, wouldn't that be
so
amazing?
Who's smarter, her or Roman Reigns? Because Roman Reigns don't even show up. She shows up to work and still doesn't feud with anybody.
This is a great storyline for a B-level title. Okay. And this will work on NXT. This will work on SmackDown and Raw. They win the title, and they so don't want to be in a feud. They become the nicest person to everyone because they don't want anyone to want to fight them.
Wait, hold on. So in professional wrestling, you want someone to work out their differences as a gimmick?
I want their gimmick to be like, hey, Finn, I saw your car was kind of dirty, so I had it detailed for you, and the person's like, oh, that's so nice. How could I want to fight this person? He's so nice.
That is giving me 2000 Angle vibes. That is 2000
Isn't that how Adam Cole just got a title shot against MJF at All In by being his bestie?
No, but you do this with everyone. Like everyone, you're like telling them happy birthday. You're like going on Facebook. Whose birthday is it today? Oh, I need to make sure to tell them in person.
At some point, it gets too expensive.
Yeah, but I think this is a solid storyline. This is a solid gimmick.
Fun. It would actually be fun.
Yeah, they just so want to avoid conflict. And when someone does have a problem with them, they're like, hey, can't we talk this out and resolve this in a non-physical way?
Oh my gosh.
In a non-physical way.
The whole episode will be contract signings and just discussions and promos.
Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho on Tuesday. That's how they're competing.
Wait a second. Here's the other thing. In contract signings, why hasn't anyone who hasn't wanted to do the fight actually brought out a lawyer and said, like, I've got some notes on this contract?
I ask this question all the time. Like, DocuSign's a thing. Just click a couple buttons backstage. It'll be fine.
No, but why don't they give notes so they can delay the fight? And be like, I want.
Did MJF do that at one point? I don't know if it was like this was a while back, but that's when he had that whole legal team backstage. Remember, he took the contract and took it back to them. This was back when MJF was actually good and not goofy.
Yeah, but people just sign these things without reading them all.
Shade all day, Flobo. I say how I feel.
He's all the shade on everybody. Jay's a coward. MJF is whack.
So
I don't like him. I don't like him as a face, but that's a conversation for a Wednesday night.
So Asuka and Charlotte Flair won, and Charlotte Flair pinned Bayley.
Yep. Yeah.
And Io Sky's already mad at Bayley. Like I think Io retains. Like Asuka being champ again too soon. Charlotte being champ again. Too many times. I think Io has to retain, but the real story is going to be Io and Bayley breaking up.
Marina Shafir just threw her socks at the crowd. I don't think I've ever seen socks being thrown at the crowd before.
Wait, who did this?
Marina Shafir.
Some people are into that.
No, I know they are, but I think that's a first for me.
I have Charlotte win the match tomorrow, by the way.
Ooh,
you think? What win is this? Is this 15?
It will be 15. And the reason why everyone hates Charlotte becoming a champion, but if you look at her last 4 or 5 reigns, she only gets the title to be transitional. So she can lose it. And with Jade in the wings, I mean, Jade versus Charlotte prints money. I mean, just the poster itself. So I think Charlotte wins. Jade challenges Charlotte, and then Jade becomes a new champion.
But then that's it. Then she's got one more. I mean, she probably ties her dad and then retires, right?
I mean, possibly, but she's in her mid to late 30s and taking longer and longer breaks. You got to cash in now.
That's true. Yeah, maybe. But Fast Lane, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea. That's interesting. It's very interesting. So the Bloodline ran into Judgment Day. They were staring at one another, and then Rhea and Paul Heyman had a chat. Then Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits took on Rey Mysterio with Santos Escobar.
He tried to kill Rey.
This was kind of exciting, this match.
Was it?
I thought so. I thought Rey.
It was a banger. The spear at the end was clean AF. Like, oh my god, that Bro Breaker cried somewhere when he saw that. the rest of LWO died, like
Yes.
on the outside.
LWO got attacked by the Street Profits, not going to be able to do their matches planned tomorrow night, but Ray knows a guy, so.
Yeah, do you know it's going to be Carlito, right? It has
Hope
to be
so.
Carlito. It has to be Carlito.
Carlito. What about Angel Humberto from NXT?
Carlito.
Okay.
Wait, the Angel Umberto is the we wanted
Los
Ice Cube.
Lobos Locos.
Yeah, that's very much we wanted Ice Cube, but we got Vanilla Ice. Like, like there'll be a negative pop.
I mean, Carlito's one dude. They need two.
They say one of them was
no
out.
Santos. Isn't Santos cleared?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how they treat the other two members of LWO, so of course that's who's gonna get replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick LeBlanc, thank you for the Canadian $2 super chat.
Thank you, Patrick.
With the current conversion rate, that's like $1.60 American.
Wow.
Hey, that's they call it toonie.
I want some of what Blue Chew's on. I hope that it's Dan Allison. That would be incredible.
Wow.
Okay, Christopher Stikelether, calm down. It's not going to be Bad Bunny at Fast Lane.
Bunny is busy getting all the awards right now.
Yeah.
Is he selling out stadiums?
No. He's on break from that. But
Is
he
he?
just won like 13 awards last night at the Latin Billboard Awards.
Oh, there you go.
Won Artist of the Year for like the freaking 100th year in a row. He's amazing.
The guy is goated. A couple of things from this match, though. One, it's kind of random how weights are billed because Rash was billed at 273 pounds, which I didn't really know. And two, the Street Profits are huge. They're like the same size as Lashley. I didn't realize that. And the outside brawl to me was the best part because it actually looked like Street Profits strong style. So I enjoyed that from top to bottom.
So Street Profits asserted their dominance. It was great.
Street Profits are humongous. I interviewed them in person, and I remember it was a very crowded room, so I didn't have the time to like adjust my tripod. I don't know if I was expecting them to not be that tall, but they had to like be fully on frame in my interview, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys were freaking giants.
Yeah, massive.
Shout out to Majestic Marie. It has indeed been a while. Good to see you. Good to see Jeffrey Sullivan, MDB999. I wore this hat just for you, brother. Patrick LeBlanc, Killer of Demons 669, Blue Chew, Christopher Stikelether, Ricky Zaldivar,
So dumb.
Montez Tyndale, Wiggles, John Clark, and all the rest here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. So
Glenn's hat.
I just, what's weird? So I got this haircut like a little over a week ago, and I was so stoked that she did it like a scissor cut instead of a razor cut. But now I'm just like, no, I've got like all the cowlicks and everything. Like it's standing up. It's not resting the way it usually does. It's bumming me out.
So you're going back to the old way, or?
I'm gonna go back to the Clippers.
I
don't know.
You're so hyped last week. You're like, yo, I feel like a brand new man right now.
Because it's like, ooh, a scissor cut. That's old school.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it felt luxurious. Yeah. It's like getting like a straight razor shave,
Oh, that's what I do. I felt dashing afterwards.
Yeah, see, because it's like the experience, but the look. It's like when you get the shampoo and you spring for no, I want the tea tree. I want the little extra.
Not my birthday, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you understand.
Yeah.
You should just go in, Flobo, and be like, I want the tea tree experience. Just rub my scalp.
My barbershop like, what? Homeboy, what? The tea tree?
Tea tree. Oh my God. If I could just get someone to massage like my scalp like weekly, I don't need anything else.
Fair
just
enough.
that. Feels the best.
Vibes.
Okay, so
For whatever it's worth, I got the luxury grooming package for my dog recently.
Okay.
They gave him a bubble bath. Sent me a picture of him in this little bath. Like it was the cutest freaking thing. Then they put a little robe on him and sent me a picture of it. It was the cutest thing. They used top products, but my favorite thing was the picture of, because I was so happy. Roman looked so miserable inside that bubble bath. I was like, I probably should never pay for that again because he hated it. But the little robe, he looked like a little Hugh Hefner, but like Yorkie version. It was adorable.
we have to bathe one of my cats because she's long hair, and
they acknowledge him at the groomers.
Oh, there you go. Well, my cat just looks at me with her big eyes, like, "Why are you doing this to me?" It's the entire time. It's very miserable.
Roman started understanding the word, and now he knows it in English and Spanish. Bath and bañarlo, he understands that in both ways. So I gotta figure out ways around it.
Oh, okay.
Because he goes and hides, and you have to like dig
Oh,
for
yeah.
him under something to like get into. He hates it.
Patrick, thank you for the additional $2. So Rhea Ripley proposed an alliance between the Judgment Day and the Bloodline, and Paul Heyman likes this idea, and he'll take it to Roman Reigns, but Ripley stops him from doing so and says it's already authorized. And Ripley tells Heyman,
works around here.
Ripley tells Heyman to acknowledge her. This is so good. Like Rhea Ripley has more. I just, I believe it.
I pop when she said, "Acknowledge me like your boy Jey Uso did." Her using Jay simping as a tool of negotiation. I appreciated it.
Simping? Really?
Have you not seen what he's been posting on his stories?
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I would too.
I said the same thing. I was doing a live watch along, and I'm like, wouldn't we all be, if we're put in that position, we would act that way too.
We had Dragon Lee versus Austin Theory. Dragon Lee, who's basically on the main roster now.
He doesn't even go here.
He goes everywhere. Versus Austin Theory. Grayson Waller interfered, but then we got a surprise from the great equalizer, Cameron Grimes.
Why?
To the moon. To the moon.
Made no sense.
It really didn't. Nice to see him though, and he got a
match. Dragon Lee is putting on bangers with whoever he faces in the ring, which is great to see. I like the match. What are we calling Austin Theory now? The 150 million hit man.
Yeah,
I guess Grayson Waller came up with that nickname. Listen, good stuff. We'll see if they make this make sense. The Cameron Grimes thing.
I'm kind of the opposite. Cameron Grimes made sense, but I don't understand what Dragon Lee's doing. It's like they're making him a thing. He is like the mean girl thing. He is fetch because it took away his Mortal Kombat entrance, so he comes out looking normal, like he's Kalisto. Like, bro, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I cheering you? Am I booing you? Like, I don't really get the potential or the view of Dragon Lee. But Cameron Grimes was in the match last week and was unfaired. But
I didn't see him.
So
I
now
didn't see it last week. So now that makes sense.
Poor guy's riding the bench. Yeah, they should have shown
that.
I
will say WWE is very good at, and I know a lot of people say it's repetitive, but they're very good at, if you didn't watch last week, this is what you missed. And I didn't watch last week, and they never mentioned anything about Cameron Grimes. So they should have shown a little bit of something after, he made the save here. Because if you didn't watch, you felt like I do. Now you just made it all make sense. Okay, perfect. I take it back.
I mean, it was random last week. Last week, like, oh, he's still here.
Right.
But this week,
but if he had a match and he was done wrong, then it makes sense for him to come out tonight. And WWE does a much better job than others at explaining, hey, if you haven't been watching, this is what you've been missing. I didn't know he was back in the scene.
There is no TV show in the history of television that recaps what happened on the last episode more than Raw. And to an extent, SmackDown.
Raw would do this. What happened 5 minutes ago? And I was like, I know, bro. It was before the commercial break. I know I have ADHD, but I still remember what just happened.
No, it's like go and watch a nighttime soap opera from the 80s, and they had very long recaps at the start of every episode. Nowhere near as long as what WWE does. Nowhere near as excessive. Roger Carson saying, very loud and energetic crowd tonight in person. I'm sure tomorrow we'll get news that it was the highest grossing event in that market.
Indianapolis. They haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
PLE, so they should do well.
Yeah.
Where were they tonight?
They were in St. Louis.
St. Louis. No, fair enough.
That's always a fun crowd.
Yes, and Cameron wanted payback because Grayson screwed Grimes last week against Theory. It's just
they can't tell us that tonight was the best. They can't. If I see that, I'm gonna be like, that's Cap. AJ Styles accent and everything. That's Cap, because they did that Royal Rumble. They did that Royal Rumble in St. Louis not too long ago. So there's no way that tonight was their highest grossing event.
I know. I'm just saying that they say that it seems like
no. I think we'll get it tomorrow because they barely ever go to Indy. But there's no way that tonight was their highest grossing in St. Louis. I don't believe you.
But Dragon Lee won.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we got a lengthy recap of Seth and Shinsuke.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
I thought what Shinsuke did on Monday was so good when he started doing the count. Shinsuke is everything. He's always been everything, but he's more than everything right now, if that makes sense. Shinsuke deserves the world. Like, I see Shinsuke Nakamura and I want to go plant trees. You know what I mean? Like, I want to help old people cross the street. I want to do goodness for the world. Even when he's heel, he brings me peace.
He kicks people in the face. Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they deserve it. He's been done wrong.
So plant trees.
So go plant a tree.
I want Issa. You should be doing YouTube videos every week of documenting the good deed that Shinsuke Nakamura has inspired you.
You
to
know
do.
what? Maybe I don't know about a full video, but maybe a short. Maybe I'll give you a weekly short document.
Yeah, just one thing
things that Shinsuke has.
And I want you to go out and find an old woman
and help her
cross the street.
And when we get done, I'll be like, I did that because of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
And just walk away, and this old lady's gonna have no idea what I'm talking about.
Give candy to a baby as opposed to taking.
No, I don't think so. No, we're not helping kids. Just animals and old people.
Wow, she draws the line. Sorry, Shinsuke. I guess your powers aren't ultimate or infinite.
Anyways, I don't know if Shinsuke is gonna win, but I'm looking forward to this banger. You remember when Shinsuke? Well, we all remember when he turned that terrible heel turn against AJ Styles. But you remember he lost that last man standing match against AJ Styles. And he told Renee Young that he lost because the referee didn't count in Japanese. So I demand a bilingual referee for tomorrow's match. Otherwise, it's rigged.
Wait, bilingual Japanese or just has to be just
Japanese,
Japanese,
Spanish, English, I need him to count in 5 different languages.
Vince, like you just said, bilingual. He speaks Esperanto.
Pal. Yeah.
He knows Klingon.
I'll never forget that interview, though. He was so funny. He was counting in English.
Yeah. It'll be exciting, though. And then we get to the main event. LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. But wouldn't you know it? Oh, so much happened. Solo blindsided Knight, causing a DQ. John Cena's music hit. He ran down to the ring to give Knight a hand. Judgment Day appeared. Shook hands with Heyman before hopping up on the apron to sign alongside the Bloodline. Jey Uso then appeared to even the odds. Then Cody Rhodes came out.
Nobody asked for this.
This was a little much. This was excessive. Oh, you know why JD McDonough was there? So Cody Rhodes could hit him with the crossroads.
Everybody hit him with something. John Cena double hit him.
Wouldn't that be funny if that's basically JD McDonough's role in the Bloodline is like, you keep the rest of us looking strong?
Well, Solo Sikoa got pulled. First of all, the match was just there. There's something about this match that I don't know if it's because LA Knight and Cena make no sense. I don't know what's going on, but there's something about this match that's not clicking for me yet. Until everybody started coming out, that's when I really got into this, right? But I did catch Heyman pulling Solo from the people standing there getting ready to face off. Also, we suffer from the, oh my God, somebody's music hit. We must stop what we're doing. When Jey Uso music hit, Judgment Day could have already laid everybody out by the time he made it to the ring, especially if he stopped to do his stupid up and down thing that he's been doing. But he didn't, thankfully. Not like Jeff Hardy when he comes out to save Matt Hardy, you know. Anyways, I was waiting for Jey Uso to start going like this to the crowd before he made it to the ring.
Yeah, why? You lose the element of surprise.
Yeah, but like the fact that everybody stops like what they're doing instead of just like, you really could have laid them all out before he got there. But yeah, this was there. I like the way that they intertwine both of the main matches that they're really hyping up for tomorrow, and it feels like we're building something beyond that. So this was, I think it was overbooked slightly, but smart.
Slightly. Not like NXT Tuesday, where Cody Rhodes will also be, I'm assuming, to announce the return of the Dusty Classic.
Or to hit somebody with a crossroads.
Well, he said he has an announcement.
Yeah, that he's going to hit somebody with a crossroads.
What if his announcement was, I made a huge mistake. I'm going back to AEW.
Wow. Turn the TBS right now, y'all.
Like, watch
and
me
then he
on
teleports and shows
watch me on the Big Show or whatever that was he was doing.
Yeah, the Big Show. Yeah.
This was fun. Cena does look like he's having a blast right now.
Oh, yeah.
Does he care about anything or anyone? No, but he's having fun. And I respect that. I'm always here to have fun.
I would pay money to see a Cena Suicida in 2023.
Somebody said that on commentary. They were like, Cena's gonna dive, and I'm like, Cena's not gonna dive.
If we did though, what?
I was like, sure.
that poison fist he does off the top rope. Oh my god, that'd be great.
So that was SmackDown tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, WWE Fast Lane 2023. Let's look at the card.
We're gonna do some quick predictions.
Sure. 5 matches. That's a short pay-per-view.
Yep. Yeah.
The Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship.
Duh, Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope Jey Uso turns on Cody because he's a traitor and he can't be trusted.
No, we don't turn on Cody. Everyone turns on Cody.
Good. That's what he deserves. He brought him here. He deserves it.
No.
He brought him here. He gets what he deserves. Should have left his ass when he quit.
The LWO.
Wait, Glenn, you didn't say who's winning.
Judgment Day. I mean, Didn't Judgment Day look amazing tonight?
Flobo wants Cody to win.
I want Judgment Day to stop being Judgment Day, but they're going to be here on all 3 shows. You're going to get all them,
All the Judgment Day, baby.
You know what? The problem I have is not so much the group because they're doing what I want Damage Control to do, but I feel like there is getting to a point where this bloodline thing is so thin, the Judgment thing just seems to be grafted on, like Survivor Series War Games. Like it's cool, but it's only here to fill in 2 months, and they're gonna break up again, like the corporate ministry all over again. So
yeah.
Flobo, book the worst way the Judgment Day breaks up.
Besides the Yoko Ono thing between Dom and Rhea, I would say JD McDonough beats.
Wait, who's the Yoko in the Dom and Rhea situation?
Oh, definitely Dom. I mean, come on.
Okay. Sorry. We'll continue.
JD McDonough challenges Rhea Ripley for the control of the Judgment Day, and he wins via shenanigans. And so now everyone has to listen to JD McDonough.
I say they go out to eat at a restaurant that doesn't serve chicken tenders, and that makes Dominic Mysterio get really mad, and that's how they break up.
Wow.
Worst breakup possible. They're like, why do you keep bringing JD around? So Finn and JD split off and formed their own faction called Judgment Night. And there's Judgment Day and Judgment Night.
I don't know what's worse because Dominic Mysterio is 26. He's still eating chicken tenders, and Judgment Night sounds like a comic book.
That's all he eats. That's all he eats. And they said on the bump, they were talking about how they have to find restaurants. And I'm like, you don't have to look that hard. Every restaurant serves
every
chicken
restaurant.
Tenders.
On the kids' menu.
It's not that deep.
And if they're the Judgment Night faction, they use the song from the movie Judgment Night, the Onyx and Biohazard collab of Judgment Night.
Oh,
the answer to
that would be so bad on so many different levels because I don't think everyone's even seen that movie, Glenn.
It's a terrible movie. One of the best soundtracks ever.
Fair enough.
Because it's all hip hop groups and heavy metal bands collaborating. Have you heard the Judgment Night soundtrack, Flobo?
I think years ago, for the one I'm thinking about. So it's kind of obscure reference.
Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill, Booyah Tribe and Faith No More.
There you go.
Yep, Sir Mix-a-Lot and Mudhoney.
That would never work today.
Cypress Hill also with Sonic Youth. De La Soul and Teenage Fan Club. It's amazing.
You're just dating ourselves, man. You got
so good.
Stop.
I'm gonna listen to that after this.
We're due for the youth. Come on. We're young.
Ice-T and Slayer.
No.
Yeah, it's the bomb. It's so good. But no, Judgment Night, Biohazard.
Please help me, please.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Let's don't age at me.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
ECU ain't that much younger than me.
You knew though. Yeah, I grew up somewhere completely different.
That's true.
We already had this conversation about how I grew up watching things that you have no clue, and you watch things that I have no clue about.
Really?
Clearly, like Judgment Night.
Yes, I've been learning this year. I've been learning a lot about Spanish language media from all the different Spanish speaking countries.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
I learned Spanish due to a show called Rebelde. That was my jam.
Yes. I've been watching episodes of Vecinos lately.
Oh, very good.
It's interesting. It's all in an apartment building. It's actually a show from Mexico that's based on a show from Spain.
Oh,
about the wacky shenanigans at an
Also
apartment
never heard
building.
of it.
La Famous
Really?
All right, very good, buddy.
Yes. Anyhow, so let's talk about that was the first match. We got through the first match, people. Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and TBD versus Bobby Lashley. Carlito versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
If it's not Carlito, I'm rioting. And if it's Carlito, then LWO has to win, right? If it's not Carlito, then I see Bobby and the Street Profits.
Bobby and the Street Profits. So Flobo, that speaks to your theory that's going to be like Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
No, it's not. It's
Carlito. Yeah, I mean, Carlito's pretty much been updated erroneously on Wikipedia as I look at this. But Bobby and Street Profits, a loss would make their story a lot more important as what they're trying to do. But I also feel like they need to have one as well, because I'm not sure what this is, if there's a hurt business or whatever. But at the same time, LWO has taken so many losses. It's almost like embarrassing to call yourselves LWO the way you're taking these L's. So I would say if you have to pick one, definitely LWO, but I don't feel too strong about it.
Flobo, I think that you are an incredibly smart man. Sometimes. But using Wikipedia as a source of reference when anybody can edit it?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this. I said erroneously. I said Carlito erroneously is on there. I want Humberto Carrillo.
Okay. I'm just making sure because when you mentioned Wikipedia, like Flobo, we know better than that.
I'm not saying according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
If this was 25...
You probably edited it yourself and then said it.
If this was 25 years ago, we would have like I don't know, pick any white superstar. Be like he's gonna align with the WWO, and then it's gonna be like blood in, blood out. He's gonna, be like Miklo and say, "My skin is white, but my heart is brown." SA.
Oh my gosh.
Glenn Bye.
You mean like when Kurt Angle joined the Shield?
That would be actually be phenomenal for Sami Zayn to be like, I just feel a kinship with your culture.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You could do that 25 years ago. You can't do that now.
No, you can't. No.
But if they're going to lose, like at least give us a real surprise. You can't bring Carlito back and have them lose.
Why not?
Isn't that what they did with Chavo Guerrero, but like reverse?
Ooh, Chavo.
Remember when they had him like, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but
you're getting Axiom, Julia. Don't you put that evil on me? Don't you put that evil on me?
The golden ratio. Bro,
I would like end my stream and walk out.
He's from Spain. That's like prime Latin. That's not even Latin. That's like prime Spain. Let's do it. Let's get Axiom, baby, with the mask and everything. Golden ratio, math problems on the screen.
Stop this madness. What's the next match, Glenn? What's the next match?
It's Axiom versus
Axiom gets the pin on Bobby Lashley.
Just rolls him up, man, backwards. Let's do it.
We're not going to see the return of Juan Cena.
Juan Cena.
Oh, that is the best part of the 2010 WWE right there.
Yeah, El Torito is still a match. El Torito comes back and then they lose.
Stop it. What's the next match?
Okay. So, Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
Oof.
It's Queen.
Man, I can see this match going either way. I can see any of these women winning. This is probably one of the matches that I'm the most excited about. I would like to see Io retain, but you never bet against the Queen. You just don't. I think Charlotte's going to win. Glenn?
I just feel that's so predictable.
Right.
I mean, here we are making predictions. It's so predictable. You literally can predict it.
Well, according to Wikipedia.
It's Flobopedia now, somebody said on the chat. I fought for that.
Yeah, I think this kind of ties into the super chat. So if Io retains but Bayley and Io break up, Patrick LeBlanc super chat idea, Bayley being a mouthpiece for Cargill, that would be interesting.
I don't think Cargill needs to have a mouthpiece. I think Cargill's gonna come off like a star, and if it's a mouthpiece, it needs to be like a poem. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be crazy, but I wouldn't put her with anybody.
Not this Bayley. Ding Dong Hello Bayley could have worked. This is kind of like weird,
Yeah. John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline. Do they make the fans happy and have LA Knight pin like Solo?
Yeah, John Cena will probably get the pin.
Do you think John Cena loses or he wins?
I think he's gonna get the pin. Like I think he's gonna pin whoever.
Okay.
I think
Probably
so, too.
Jimmy, because Jimmy just likes to eat pins.
Because I would assume, yeah, he does. Because then I can say next week at SmackDown, Judgment Day says, look, we won our half of our matchup. You didn't. You need us.
Yeah, and then Roman has to return to bring the bloodline back together.
No.
He has to take his PTO at his IT job and come back to put in 2 weeks for Survivor Series.
Oh, man.
And then Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins, last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
If Shinsuke does not win this match, he will never get a title shot ever in his
What
career.
if we get a cash in?
Oh.
I mean, they tease it on the show today, which probably means no. but I do. Seth is winning this one. But if Shinsuke loses, he'll never be challenging that title again.
Seth wouldn't even have to get pinned. I don't know. I just want. I don't know. I'm very torn on this one because I love both of these guys. I don't want to see Seth drop this title yet, but I really like what Shinsuke's doing, and I just can't. My heart couldn't take seeing another Shinsuke loss. I would rather see a cashing, honestly. I'm telling you, while Priest has that briefcase, every time I'm gonna be like, I just want Priest to walk out as world champion. But I can't tell you guys. I would like to see Nakamura win. I'm telling you who my heart is rooting for here. I feel like Nakamura needs this win more than
He does.
Seth.
When's the last time they did a cash in though on a B pay-per-view?
What's the last time they did a good cash in, Glenn?
Okay, so here's okay, so peep this. Here's my prediction because this actually
Big
sets
E,
the
and that was on a Monday Night Raw.
Okay,
The last great cash.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Big
say.
E.
So here's what they do: Shinsuke wins tomorrow. Seth demands his rematch either this Monday or next Monday. Priest cashes in, wins, because if you have the Judgment Day versus the Bloodline, having Priest and Roman be the top two guys, the champions of their respective brands.
You're gonna have Priest carry all those titles. That's kind of hot. But are
But
you gonna have Priest carry all those titles?
No, but you have to do that. You can't have. It gives so much more weight to it if it's the champ versus champ, faction versus faction. Like that's a War Games match. That is big time.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
Especially when back last year, like when the Bloodline was going to War Games, they had all the gold. They were the dominating faction. So it would be cool for Judgment Day to say, "Hey, we took over. Look at us now." But
would have
I don't know.
Shinsuke keep it for like even a week before that happens.
We'll see.
You know?
I mean, we do have some time for Survivor Series. I don't even know if Shinsuke wins. I'm speaking with my heart right now. I think Shinsuke needs it more, but I don't even know if they actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be a little early, but I don't know. I think they could do a hell of a build. It's November 25th, so we've got
A
good
month
6
and
weeks.
a half. Yeah.
Definitely possible. Definitely doable.
Well, this makes me more interested in Fast Lane tomorrow.
Yeah.
But on Collision, Adam Copeland's going to respond to Christian Cage.
He's full time. They want to make sure we all know that he's full time and he's going to be on every show.
He is working a lot.
Yeah.
Christian deserves better.
Damn.
He does. Christian Cage has been the workhorse for 20 years. Talk about Cody Rhodes betting on yourself. 10 years before that, Christian Cage did that in TNA. And he's one of the hottest characters on AEW aside from Tony Storm. And this thing is hitting meme levels. And then Edge just walks in.
That's why Christian told him what he told him. Because you're absolutely right. Christian's doing the best work of his career. This guy is going to come in and try to cash in on that or take that spot. I don't think so. Ask him about his father. I got deep. No, don't.
Tell me about your father.
Don't ask about Edge's father. But come on, like Christian is doing incredible. But like I said, with their history, with everything that Christian is doing, I really do think they could give us a must-watch feud if you just give them time. Also, like just back off, DK. Let them book it themselves. They'll do a great job. Just trust them.
Right.
Just trust them and let them do their thing. You have almost the same amount of time. Full Gear's the week before Survivor Series, so we have 6 weeks also to 5 weeks to build a feud that culminates at Full Gear. These guys can give us weeks of insane epic promos, which I don't feel we gotten since Punk and MJF. Those I have to tune in to watch segments. It's been a while since we gotten that from AEW. I honestly believe that Edge and Christian could give us that if they just let them do their thing, because Christian is great right now.
outwork everyone.
Well, there you have it, folks. Tune in tomorrow night to watch Fast Lane. I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow night though, but Monday
I'll be watching it live on my YouTube channel. NYC Demon Diva, come hang out.
Then
We're
Monday,
gonna have a
check out
bingo
Raw.
card. I'm gonna tweet it out so everybody can watch it with my bingo card. It's gonna be fun.
They're gonna have the same bingo card. You're not gonna make variations. So
We make new ones for every pay-per-view, Glenn. I'm not lazy.
no, but no.
How dare you imply she's lazy?
No, I'm saying if everybody has the same bingo card, that means everybody wins at the same time. When you go to bingo,
That's the whole point. And then we take
Okay.
a shot every time we hit a bingo,
Okay.
Glenn. Well, I can't because I'm still on that stupid diet, but I am going to rely on my viewers to get drunk on my behalf.
Okay, and then
He's just dropping
Tuesday,
signs. That's how you build a community, Glenn. What are we doing? What are you doing?
Tuesday,
Thank
the
you,
biggest
Flobo. You
NXT
get
of all
it. You
time.
get it.
The biggest NXT of all time.
The WrestleMania Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge, yeah. But let's be fair though. The main roster aside, Mellow Breaker was a Mania event or Stand and Deliver event. This is pretty cool on its own.
Yeah.
We got extra stuff on top, so I'm in.
Gonna be fun. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Check out Flobo Boyce. Flobo, what do you got coming up? What are you working on? What do you want?
Well, you know, I'm over there in that Twitter, X, and Blue Sky at Flobo Boys. Come say hello. MLB postseason stuff we posted over there. Of course, more wrestling stuff as well.
Issa, you got watch alongs. What else you got going on? What are you doing? What's happening?
Nothing. Everybody can go to my Instagram and Lucha Libre Online to see all the interviews from WWC Septiembre Negro. And I got a bunch of things going on. And I'm always here on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
There you go. Sunday, me, Raj Giri, Matt Morgan, Gigantic Pop, episode 6. We talked about No Holds Barred last week in Rocky 3. Some 80s crazy talk. But this weekend, it's spooky season. It's October, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th for this Sunday. And maybe I'll tell more of the 976 stories.
Saw X was amazing.
I heard it was good.
Oh, so good. So good.
Oh, you know what I watched last night?
What?
I love movies about time travel and I love horror movies. And I watched a movie called Totally Killer on Amazon that just came out. It was so good though. It's about a teenage girl, Kieran Shipka, goes back in time to solve a series of killings, and she interacts with her mother and her friends and her dad as teenagers. And it's very self-referential. They mention Back to the Future. Like, it was a very fun time travel mixed with a horror movie. Like, it was a delight. It was one of the most joyous movie experiences I've had in a while. Highly recommend
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
So it's a horror comedy.
Yeah, it's a horror comedy, but it's very self-referential. She travels back to 1987.
Nice.
Very, very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a great weekend, everyone. We'll catch you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.
Bye.